episode as one of my episodes, but now you get to watch it. So, cut, go.
Hello and welcome to Murph's Tavern. I am massive Simpsons dork Murphy McLachlan. Every episode of this podcast, we talk about a different episode of a television show called The Simpsons. Specifically one from the first 9 seasons with a couple of fellow fans. This week we're talking about Season 7's Homer, the Smithers. It's pretty much what it says on the tin. Smithers goes on vacation. Homer fills in. With me, first time on the show, it is Leigh Querban.
Woohoo! I'm very excited.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And millionth time on the show,
Yep.
it is the host of Broken Home, Jeremy Webb.
Thanks very much, man. I'm surprised to hear you hadn't been on before, Querbs.
No,
I thought everyone
no.
had
First
done their
call up.
serve yet.
Yeah, I've been hot on the phone every week.
He
Been
finally
like, "Murph,
picked up
where's
the
call?"
finally picked up the phone. Basically, his personal assistant got fired. He was trying to get rehired. I got involved, and
Yeah. And my new
anyway.
assistant is useless. You know, my mother's always getting through on the line.
and if
I
you
wouldn't be surprised if there's a service just for that. It's like the mother-in-law's, like, you just pay a couple of dollars, reroute her money, like, just to someone else to pretend that you're at work.
Now, I brought up your podcast, Webby.
Mhm.
For those listening that want to check out video of this week's Murph's Tavern, they can check out your YouTube channel, Broken
So
Home.
just Broken Home. I can't put the, like, grammar in there in the title, so it literally just says Broken Home.
Yeah,
But you
so
can see in the background on at least one of these shots that
oh yeah,
Right there.
I put less of,
Home.
I keep putting less of that in the shots just to get better shots of people, so it's just kind of a weird thing in my shed now.
I saw you had Bo Stegman on the pod recently,
sorry,
and it was it was classic him butchering. He went, "Great to be here on Broken Homes," but I've been.
That was not the hardest part of that episode.
But yeah, this is sort of like a crossover episode. So if I hadn't known that we were going to do the crossover ep until I got to your place,
You're welcome.
maybe I would have picked an episode that was kind of fit more with, being broke. But
No, this is fine.
True, I would have
It's about
showered as well.
contrast, you know. This is about when, like, two different classes of people meet.
yeah, I guess you could argue that, this is...
I can shoehorn any
yeah.
argument I want. in.
Mr.
force
Burns
it.
is a rich man. He's used to having someone toady for him. In this
Yep.
episode, Smithers goes on vacation and he gets...
He's got to deal with some scum. Like,
Yeah. Before we drill into Homer the Smithers, Leigh, it's your first
Yep.
time on the show, as Webby said. So, well, as I said as well. But anyway, I got to be careful what I say because Webby is not going to edit this footage. I've usually
things
Could
out
have
if you
been
want
like a
them out.
bad
It's more
German
like
film dubbed really poorly.
I'll cut out what you don't want said. I just won't cut out anything that's bad or boring. That's fine.
Let me get out all the slurs now. It's
Okay.
just
You've been dying to say on your own podcast.
no, Quebs, yeah. First on the show, what's your
Yeah.
background with The Simpsons?
Oh, mate. Well, for me, it was getting home. You'd get like the Channel 2 shows that were always on from 3:30 till 6.
Yeah.
They were the warm-ups. They were like,
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
you ready for dinner and Simpsons at the same time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
religiously,
absolutely.
6 o'clock, Channel 10. You
It's
got
like,
all the
I
crap out
know
the
it
way.
and understand it, but it's always funny when, like, people from different places, the number of the channel they saw The Simpsons on was different.
Well, it's
It's
the,
like,
same,
you're like
the
2,
same
it's
for
like I
us.
was 10, so...
No. He watched Channel 2, so ABC, and then
yeah,
then
and
he
you
flicked
switch
over.
over to
I
Channel
thought
10.
ABC was 3 for...
I always Channel. Oh,
No,
well,
Channel 2 has always been Channel 2. And that's not to confuse, but I
Can't
watched
fault
some
that
Channel
logic,
10.
really.
that is sort of something. I wonder if that stuck around though, because now no one really watches free to air. It's all
True.
digital. People because it's never been. They never call themselves Channel 2.
No.
They always call themselves ABC. But
Yeah.
you called it Channel 2 because 2 was what you pressed.
On
It was
yeah,
Channel
yeah,
2.
yeah.
I think that's
So-
a general... Like, my dad would still call something by the number that it is, even with,
Yeah.
like, digital TV in there.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
he'd
yeah.
call it, it's like, oh, on channel, like, 53.4 or whatever the fuck it is, like, just the whole number.
Listening to The Simpsons on the wireless.
But yeah, I know what you mean. You had
Yeah.
you sat down after school.
Mhm.
You had your Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
What else was? Oh, Cat Dog. That
Oh.
was in there. Cat Dog was good.
I was thinking about
Never as good
Angry
as The Simpsons.
Beavers the other day.
Angry Beavers. Yeah.
Yeah, that
They were
was
up in the
right.
mix.
Yeah.
But also remembering nothing about any episode ever, just remembering like sort of what they look like.
I'm at that point now where I'll sometimes go on nostalgia hits and just
Oh, yeah.
find stuff on on YouTube, and it's crazy how the part of your brain gets unlocked. It's like
Yeah.
I have not thought about this for
Mm.
20 years, at least,
Yeah.
and it's just like holy shit, I remember this. There's one that did a real number on me the other day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Someone posted in some Reddit thread, and I was like, whoa! It's a show called Mott. MOT.
Mott.
And it's a
No,
kid
no.
with he has like a big purple alien friend. And the opening theme goes, the son is crude, his mother's rude, they give you the creeps. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Nah.
Never seen this in my
I have
life.
no idea what you're on about there.
Well, anyway, if you,
I've
listeners,
definitely had the
check
feeling
it out.
about things like that, but just not that one. at
Okay,
all.
yeah.
It's like in mine for a while there, I was putting in the break in the middle was just old ads from
Yeah.
the 90s and shit. and
Yeah, yeah.
Some of those will get you. Fucking Caramello Koala out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Quite rightly.
Just coming in on the train.
Yeah, they there's
Old Malteser ads. No, that was the one that got me in particular. The dentist ad, like the toothpaste ad that just starts with the guy facing the
oh
mirror.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just like as soon as that came on, I'm like, oh shit, the news is gonna start. Like,
Yeah, what was the shtick that they couldn't show his face because he's a
Yeah.
dentist?
Yeah.
right.
Which is bizarre because what has the dentist ever done that's incriminating? You know, like, it's the most, no discredit the dentist, but it's not the most interesting, they never have proper chats. They're in the same room all day.
look, I mean, the
Are
harsh
they
joke is
that dangerous that
Murphy
we
will
can't see
cut this
their
out, but the
face?
harsh joke is the main thing they do that's illegal is killing themselves.
it's true? Which is why you can't see their face because they're blowing it off. Yeah, okay. This just took a bad
yeah.
turn, didn't it? Talking about a light-hearted fun.
Look, it's the reality of the word. Well,
Those ones that do the memory unlocking, a bunch of Sesame Street segments can
Oh,
do
yeah.
that to you because they used to have so many different little skits, and there was one.
and there's ones where like because the show's gone on for so long, you can definitely see the ones where you're like, this is before I watched, and then the ones where you're like, there he is. That's the exact scenes I remember. This is the exact time when there was like the adults that I knew. They hadn't brought in certain characters.
yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Damn, now it's hit me.
Yeah, well, there was because they had the little all the classic Sesame Street moments with
Mm.
the Muppets and the people on the street, but they also just had little things throughout that was like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
11, 12.
And there was
Pinball machine. and
yeah,
then-
yeah. But there was one where it was just like the one that got me was a kid is afraid to go to sleep, and then there's like shadows playing, like singing, and then he turns on the light and it's his dog, and he goes Sparky.
Nah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk
You
about
gotta
the
stop
two
going for really-
Weimaramas cooking. You know how the two Weimaraner dogs that they dress up as humans?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
cook.
yeah.
It's just them like licking
Cooking
up
or
all
like
the-
trying to eat or just like doing something that was all
Yeah.
just hands.
That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
loved the
yeah.
most about
Yeah.
Sesame Street. That was the best.
I don't know, some of the
Sketch,
clocks
would
were
you
kind
call
of
it, or-
interesting.
You've got a 1-year-old. Have they started
do.
watching shows yet, or are they a bit too young for
I feel
TV?
terrible because the only show he's watched is
Mhm.
like the Channel 2 morning news when I'm making his milk and getting him ready. So it's like literally he hasn't watched cartoons, but he's watched like wars in Ukraine.
But he's
Like,
request that.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
seen the
Daddy.
tariffs,
Yeah.
everything that's going wrong.
It's weird when his first words
was
was ceasefire.
Well, that's his middle name, actually. Yeah. Old ceasefire quiz.
Well, at least it's going to come up more than once then.
But yeah, Simpsons. You
Yeah.
watched it every night.
Yeah.
Any particular favorite episodes?
I don't. Well, I was actually to go back to like another memory of it. I felt like I revisited it in my uni years because we were lucky enough to have Foxtel, and for whatever reason,
Ugh,
Saturday and
That
Sunday.
does not fit my theme.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Broken home. I fucking own this home. mate.
Unless there was 6 of you paying for that because you're all into sports, living in your fucking share house.
But they would play from 9 a.m. till 12:30 noon.
Mhm.
Simpsons back to back.
Yeah.
Like back to back to back.
It was like
Yeah,
called
and then if
Super
you
Simpsons
switched over
Saturday
to-
or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Then if
also
you
on
switch to
Sunday.
Fox 2, you can watch it again, but with a 2-hour delay.
Yeah. Well, I think probably like just the classic because the biggest earworm is dental plan.
Yeah.
Lisa needs braces. Like to this day, I will. If anyone says the word dental or plan
100%.
or something that
Going
sounds
back to
monotone-
dentists, we
going
can't.
back to dentists.
Yeah, so you're thinking
it,
it- dental plan, chick.
Oh. Come on.
Now, if there was ever a dentist who like went off a bridge yelling that as he went down, I'd fucking military
Yeah.
funeral.
or a bus driver yelling "O'Doyle." No,
Yeah.
O'Doyle rules. Was it O'Doyle? Who was it?
It was O'Doyle and
O'Doyle. That's
one
right,
of my favorite films. Literally watched it last night.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit. On Channel 10 because I always used to.
Oh,
watch that as
mate.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison double feature.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
you remember that? Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Every third week?
Yeah.
Constantly, because they're like, "Fuck it, we got to put something there." And you want to watch this again?
Did
So
you
I'm gonna
know?
say it was dental plan. Like it's all flooding back to me now, Murphy.
Mhm.
I think when the Carney's ring toss for the house,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
probably my favourite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We did
The
that.
Carney code. like,
Yeah.
it just-
Yeah.
oh.
No, that's a
You
really
put
good
you in
one.
a fucking ponytail, and you're the dad from that. You wait until that kid is long enough to scam somebody. Just daddy's up there doing his comedy. He's up there cutting pockets. Just
That is what I want from Ceasefire Querban, you know, little ceasefire.
the police are currently investigating for. I was going to put your kid's actual name there, but no.
But he
of the
couldn't
carrot.
remember it. So.
Neither can I. You know, that's why it's a riff, but it's sticking.
What about Homer the Smithers? Like, did you have any strong memories of this episode? Did anything come flooding back when we watched this one today?
Do you know what? The only thing that came flooding back was the ending. Like when they were fighting,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
knew that's how Mr. Burns went out.
Yeah.
There were lots of things that, like, I remember even which in all the episodes as well, because they never say Smithers is gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never comes up. But when he's at the all-male resort, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I remember that being a little bit of a, like, what would you even call it? Just a little point out.
It
like
started to become
it's like
more,
everyone knows, and he's a little cheeky.
Well, that started to become more the joke. It wasn't just like this weird obsession. It was like, okay, he is gay, but he's hiding that, and it's the obsession. It started to be a bit like, yeah, he's hiding it, but we're going to show you little peeks of what he's hiding.
Yeah.
But originally,
Like I
it was
remember that
just like
phone call
very
happening,
unsaid.
and being like, "Oh, that's right. He was at like an all-male inclusive resort. Obviously
I
having a good
completely
time."
did. I
and-
read just that out as a kid. I just,
Yeah. Right.
I just rolled with that as like, yeah, he's the resort scene, but also knew that he was like secretly gay the whole time.
Oh,
as
you
well.
didn't connect the two.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, those two really obvious and related points. I just like, I know the information.
Well,
I
it
don't need
used-
to see connections here.
There was a huge thing in the 90s where there was this, especially online, they were like, is Smithers gay? And they were
Yeah.
like,
Y-
and it's
yeah.
like, yeah, man. Like, but
he is.
like, I remember because I went online to get the reviews for this episode, which we'll get into later, but
Yeah.
they've still got, all the old things people have posted when this came out in 96 or whatever. And yeah, people are like, okay, I really think that he might be. After tonight's episode, I think the clues are there.
We need clarification, though. This is extremely important. Yeah.
But
There
yeah.
was definitely one that was a moment that I remembered is a repeating one from when I was a kid. Like, because I've said this before, there's just one like sentence or something that will just clip from an episode. And I've got to keep watching the replay because I didn't write it down. And I know there's one in this, which is where it's like a 2-second, like, dental plan is the same thing.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, what's going on in the rest of that episode? It's like, I can figure it out if I think about it, but there's like one sentence for once that will just grab me.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Like, I forgot rewatching that. I remembered the exact plot of it and how it happened. but I
Yeah,
didn't-
yeah.
I totally forgot about all the one-liners, and
Yeah.
like, that's what I laughed about so hard in that because there were some gems in there that I completely forgot about, like the him waking up in the morning at 4:30 a.m. and Marge is like, "What? It's not 6 a.m. yet. The Little Rascals isn't on." Like just that
his
concept.
immediate response of just like, I know, I'm taping it. Like,
Yeah.
completely, they both 100% know what's going on in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's like embarrassed.
There's a bit in that which I didn't realize was from this episode where he's trying to put his pants on. He's like, lousy two-legged pants.
Yeah.
And I've been in that situation so many times where, like, you
The old like gum boots where they just used to be exactly the same left and right, so you just have to go one then the other. It doesn't matter which way.
Yeah.
But you pointed
You
out
need pants like that.
while we were watching as well, Marge is like going, hello, poor homie, poor. And you're like,
Yeah.
we've been there where the partner's
Just the
trying to be
partner sees
supportive.
sympathy.
and-
It's like they're pretending for the whole 12 seconds that they remember to be conscious, and then just. But even when you're the other way around, it's like, oh, bye, see ya. and now I get to have just the fucking best. Like, just being able to fall back asleep. It's like you feel decadent.
Yeah. Another line from this episode where Homer goes, I think Mr. Smithers chose me because of my motivational skills. Everyone always says they have to work a lot harder when I'm around. Like, yeah, a lot of gold gags or quotes that you're like, oh, it's from this one.
Well, that's what, like I was saying when we were watching it, just they never miss a beat or an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like every line, there's an opportunity for a
The
gag.
very first line is a joke that, like, I'm sure we associate with in some way, because, like, he just does the worst MC job in one sentence. Smithers just gets up and he's just like, everybody get ready for Mr. Burns, and then he's just like, there you go, sir. I've warmed the crowd up for you. I'm like, oh, come on. We've all had that fucking
Yeah.
the coldest fucking...
You're right. I didn't even connect. And it's like listening to a bad wedding speech. With the infliction, like, Mr. Burns. Pause.
All of it's a question. All of it's ChatGPT these days.
There's a few Yep.
Sorry, even if we're just going these lines, I'm just going down here now. Where the Daredevil, because, like, that's a cool way. He's appeared before, but he's in hospital for, like, cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah.
Not even for, like, one of those massive injuries
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
had. Concussions. It's like none of that. It's the liver's gone.
Yeah. Cirrhosis of the liver. Yeah, I'd never picked up before, or maybe I had, but I'd forgotten that the person they mentioned is Lance Murdoch. That's who's in hospital for the cirrhosis, and he's the one, Querbs, who
Lance Murdoch.
Bart was inspired to be a Daredevil and did the gorge thing because of him.
Right.
Yeah, and like you said, Webby, he's popped up in a few episodes, but
He's just sort of
yeah.
the Daredevil.
Yeah, and he's usually always
like Tatum, they use as the boxer.
Yeah. He breaks every bone in his body, and so that is a good point. That's why he's in hospital, because of his cirrhosis of the liver, not any of his crazy stunts.
I just love, which one was it? Plant. There was one, like, of the things where they're repeating the word over and over again, and they just decide not to use the last word.
Yeah,
And as a kid, that one always shit me. I'm sort of like, I think it's like plant, and just, like, drops back one word. And even as a kid, I just remember, like, there's the wrong emphasis. That better be an actual joke, otherwise it's just annoying.
Webby was writing some letters.
But I never posted them. I just needed to get it out.
Yeah. Well, there's a few bits from this episode which I think are memed a lot, or the gif of it pops up a fair bit, like Lenny doing the thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
My big note on that is that is just drunk Quanny.
Yeah.
100%. I had a great night, mate. Just turning back. Yeah, sure. Just somebody, like, sort of gently gesturing him away.
Listeners, Quanny has appeared on many Murph's Taverns and many Broken Homes, so go back and no, absolutely. I don't think I picked up as a kid the joke that Lenny is just being so friendly and such a happy guy, and Mr. Burns is, like, so frightened and be like, you should have seen the murderous look in his eye. Yeah.
I'm looking at that going, that's the happiest one of our dad's mates gets.
We do have the episode playing again in the background while we're talking,
probably pause
and it's just reminded me of the great way that Act 1 finishes, which is Homer saying, what are we doing? What do I do in case of a fire?
Yeah.
Smithers drives off, and then Homer turns, and the whole thing is
There's
like
just so much fire in such a short amount of time.
It's like
it's up the walls. It's just like
unexplained as well, like
completely.
Yeah.
No
but also
source.
Mr. Burns is just sitting there calmly as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Doesn't no, but I do like that Act 2 picks up where it, like, with Homer actually extinguishing it. Like, it doesn't just go to the
I had
next
that,
scene.
like,
It's
he
like,
actually does solve the problem.
yeah, which he probably caused, because it's
It
like
doesn't matter. It's like he's trying, and you can see that he's actually, like, trying and doing fine at the bare minimum. At least.
And we've talked about this before on the pod, Webby, but this is great characterization of Homer, because he's a fucking idiot, but at no point in this episode is he malicious. Is he?
He is when
he knocks out Mr. Burns. He absolutely KO'd.
Okay,
We'll get to
but
that.
we
will get to that.
He
is a
what's
dick
the
in
word?
this, but he doesn't necessarily mean it.
Yeah.
Or mean it to the degree that it ends up being.
Burns has that coming. Like, he doesn't. I feel like a few
I'll
seasons.
get to that, fucking Rich.
Aggravated assault.
Yeah. And even, like, he gets Smithers fired, but he's, like, remorseful at the dinner table. He's like, I feel bad about, like, later seasons Homer would not give a fuck.
No.
He would just be running
It'd be
around,
Marge
causing
telling
havoc.
him
Yeah.
to feel bad.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
these were the best ones, as you said, from 1 up to 9, is because
Yeah.
there still was this kind of moral code. and
Yeah,
there was like
yeah.
a reason behind it.
Yeah, yeah,
Those later
absolutely.
episodes
and the
just
reason is
lost it.
usually that he's trying to be good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
There's
like, even in this one where he's like at the table there with Marge, and
Yeah.
the fucking Marge handling my biggest social nightmare, just fucking like a boss, where she just walks in and says the exact same
Yeah.
sentence that Lisa just said, getting called out for it, and just like, sorry, champ. Just-
yeah, get your own damn corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. She plays the straight man pretty well in this episode. Like when Homer comes home, he's like, I think I killed Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
And then Marge's like, okay, well, it's like just go back there. If he's not dead, then like yeah.
Yeah, just go
Great delivery.
apologize. It's like, what?
Well,
It's,
even
I
in that
guess.
scene, like, it's very rare that Lisa gets a good gag in.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
lost it, which is like, well, maybe you just really, really hurt
Yeah.
him. Like, that's, somehow, yeah, it's better than murder, but it's still a horrific assault
I
that
like-
you've caused.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Technically better. That's
Yeah.
all you were looking for.
Lisa gets it. I like she's kind of acting like a kid in this one as well when Bart's like giving Homer grief. We're like,
Yeah.
Simpson, do my algebra. And then Lisa's like, Simpson, I need to lift to the library.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love the voice acting there with him. Just like she's whispering, she's like, yes, sir. And it's just
Yeah.
all like following the tone of everything along there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, Marge. I think I got to do some algebra for Mr. Burns. yeah. No, it's all, but like
And again, it's that almost competence that he's got where he remembers that it's long division he's meant
That's
to be
right.
doing. Like, just
Yeah.
absolutely cannot function, but he's still trying
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
as hard as he can.
well, it reminds me a bit of the Frank Grimes episode. Like he does try to be a good assistant in this.
Yeah.
He doesn't like he fucks it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's going out of
Well,
his
when you think
way.
about, like,
It's not
Ho-
like where he's trying to be lazy or anything. He's not
Yeah.
trying to get out of the work. He's
Yeah.
just trying his best, and that's not really enough.
Yeah.
Well, you think about all the episodes of The Simpsons, like, Homer's always been strangely motivated for someone who's supposed to be the dumb, lazy character.
Yeah,
Like,
totally,
The
yeah.
sheer amount of things that he's done.
Oh
Even a
yeah.
smart person couldn't be bothered doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
even
even
though
we're
he
talking
doesn't
ath-
have the capability.
We were even I was talking before about like athletically. He sprints the whole distance home.
Yeah.
It like doesn't break a sweat. Sheer terror. He just makes that fucking whimpering noise and just like takes off. And just the animation of when he does the little like he's got his head in his hands and Marge goes, "There's something wrong," and he just goes, "No," and just like does this little curl up with the eyes just showing. That's so funny every time I watch it.
I love the animation of Burns hiding behind the pot plant.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
And the little like breathing under there. Like,
Yeah.
And weirdly like seeing that tiny little plant and then it does almost obscure him.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it kind of does work.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Burns' mum. Let's talk about
Yeah.
her. So,
I'm glad someone is. It's about time.
this episode does reveal that his mum is alive, and at this point, the show had also established that Mr. Burns is 104. So,
So that is a.
yeah,
See, I thought that was just that sounds like the best thing to throw at somebody.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like a 103-year-old face doesn't.
Oh,
sound
yeah, yeah,
as,
yeah.
Like
well,
whatever you'd say.
that's true. It's,
coming out your mouth.
I guess it's not actually
Yeah.
confirmed at any point because I think the bit of background on Burns' age in the second season, he tells Homer that he's 81. He says, "I'm only 81."
That's the one I like, and it's my trivia answer. Everybody
Yeah.
else can get fucked.
Yeah, I
then,
didn't know
He's
that.
81. I
then
can do the whole speech from that episode if you want. Just
oh, look out! Well, in Who Shot Mr. Burns, which was
Yeah.
about a year before this, Skinner says like, "Mr. Burns, I don't think I'm going to mistake a 104-year-old man for one of my students." And
Yeah.
then that sort of set the canon that he was 104.
And
Because
how many
was meant
years
to be
later
the
was that?
Well, that would have been because, like, up until that point, they were still pretending there's no canon. But once you had the Who Shot Mr. Burns carrying over between the two seasons, it's like, okay, there's some bit of continuity that.
I mean, they're always they did have Sideshow Bob episodes established that there's continuity. And like,
Yeah.
there's a few episodes that kind of carry on storylines. Homer's half brother.
Mm.
There's
But they carry on,
here
but I
and
feel like
there,
that
but
one was such a
Mm.
like because it was the two-parter,
Yeah.
advertising the whole time, like on TV. That like,
I remember that. Like there was
Exactly.
actually they were running odds.
That was our
like
9/11.
sports. Well, sports bet wasn't the thing, but whoever the betting company was running odds on who shot Mr. Burns. You can put money on it.
Like something that's recorded, but they did do the like multi recordings, like of
Yeah.
the
They didn't
scenes
wanna
and that
get it
kind of
out.
nonsense.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done Who Shot Mr. Burns yet for the pod, so stay tuned.
Ooh.
So
If you don't want to know the answer,
yeah. Well, what we're going to try and do is get Ash Greblow on for that episode because he didn't watch The Simpsons growing up, and so
There were a lot of kids who were like that, though.
yeah.
The weird kids.
Well-
Not Ash. I love him. He's a lovely bloke.
the
But-
weird kids with like girlfriends and fucking riding on their bikes,
'Cause
being
I-
in the football team.
Yeah, fucking losers. No, I think I mentioned this on another pod, but I went, I wonder if Greblow knows who shot Mr. Burns. And I like messaged him. I was like, hey, Greblow, do you know who shot Mr. Burns? He was like, no idea, brother. I was like, yes. He's like, don't find out in the next however many months. I'm going to
Yeah.
get you on for that
Don't
episode.
ever find out.
Yeah.
No way.
I've
I've
only-
only watched Simpsons.
I've
Crazy.
been fighting it for so long.
Like it's been on his to-do list, but he
Yeah.
just keeps not getting around to it.
It's getting closer and closer as he's crossing those off.
But anyway, Mr. Burns' mum is 122 years old, which technically is feasible because the oldest woman ever was 122. And that was
Okay.
she died in the 90s, I believe. It was a
Yeah.
French woman.
Around the
Actually-
time this was made?
Maybe a few years after this. I think
Okay.
she may have. But yeah, oldest person ever was Jeanne Louise Clement, 122 years. That's the oldest they've ever been. After that, the oldest someone got was 119.
Yeah.
There was a 116-year-old who died late last year, and the current oldest person is Ethel Catterham, who's
Oh, yeah.
115. So
Wow.
Sounds about right.
there you
Well,
go.
that means that she had
And there's a-
Monty Burns when she was 18.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Which is
pretty-
actually quite believable if she's that
That's also
old.
quite late for fucking.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
era.
She's probably a spinster back
You
then.
could have said 14.
You
I'm
don't.
like,
You
yeah, that
aren't
sounds
married
about
at 16. What is wrong with you?
yeah.
right. 2 years is living at a harlot, I see.
They mentioned that she had an affair with President Taft. who I-
Easily the funniest president to pick. He was the dude who was so fat he got stuck in a bathtub, right?
Oh, I
Really?
didn't know
Is that him? I thought that was him.
Let's
If
go with
not,
that,
Sorry,
yeah.
Taft covered shots, but
Well,
no, one of them was that.
I read online in the lead up, in doing prep for this episode, is that Taft was also a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, which
Oh.
is how Homer, when Homer goes, Taft, you old dog,
Yeah.
because it's been explained in a previous episode that Homer knows heaps about the Chief Justices.
Oh yeah.
Because when Bart is like, Mrs.
What
Krabappel's,
was that?
it's the Itchy and Scratchy the movie episode. Because Mrs. Krabappel's like,
yeah,
you know, Bart, if he just goes on the right path, he could end up Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And then Homer just starts listing members of the Supreme Court, and then at the end, it's a
Yeah.
flash forward, and Bart actually is a Chief
Oh,
Justice.
cool.
And
Yeah,
they go
yeah,
see
yeah.
the movie together. Because he's like one senior, one Chief Justice of the Supreme Court when they're buying the tickets. Anyway.
And he's just in the robes. kicking
Yeah,
around
yeah.
For whatever reason.
Maybe he's on
It's
his
like,
lunch
I
break.
would, honestly, if I had something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
that I
true.
kick around that says I'm more important than you, you'd think about it at least.
They actually kept that sort of theme going because in the episode with Lisa, the future, where Lisa is engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Bart's like knocking down buildings. Go, I'm just doing this till I get into law school or something. So
Yeah.
it's implied that he's Webby's
I
got a
stop
fa-
caring by then. That's a problem.
But anyway, yes, that's a little bit of
It's
a
good
little
to
trivia
look
for
back
you.
and
Yeah.
watch like the couple of running jokes that were still going, like Burns not knowing who fucking Homer is.
I
love
love
that that's still just subtly played. It's just a little thing that Burns just, in order to make these stories work, Burns just doesn't know who Homer is.
Yeah.
But this might be the last time they did it because he's like Smithers, and I like Smithers' little things as well, where like it's always something like one of the carbon blobs from Sector 7G.
Yeah.
This one he says one of your organ banks from Sector 7G.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
he says the great. I think he actually says all of the recent events in your life has
Revolved around him somehow.
yeah, which is great. But this might be the last time they did one of those.
Really? Because I just thought about the episode where Homer literally snaps it because he keeps on forgetting his name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was it, so that was
That-
before this?
Yeah, because that was Who Shot Mr. Burns. That was in the lead. That was in
and
that.
Who Shot
so-
Miss Burns was before this episode?
Yeah.
There you go.
What about the one in the cabin?
That's after this.
Ooh.
And Burns actually remembers him in that. Because, I think, we did that one a year or so ago, and Quanny pointed out that at the start, he's just like, they're at the cabin, and the Homer rocks up, and he's like, "Did you bring your family, Simpson?" So, yeah.
So he does recognise it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And normally he doesn't make the backwards connection where he recognizes everybody else and then figures out who Homer is. So it is an immediate recognition.
Yeah, I do love at this point in the chronology, Homer's daughter has shot him. And he's still like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who again?
Yeah,
But
there's so many. I love when there's
Yeah.
just like, you do the entire list out just at
Yeah.
a particular point. You're like, it starts off ridiculous.
I think by the second season, even like Homer and Marge had fucked up his campaign for governor. That Marge painted him in the nude.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
He hits Bart with his car. That's all
Yep.
second season. So
Yeah.
they're already like, even 2 years in, there's so much shit that's happened.
And it's
that's
just, you're thinking like, if The Simpsons was real life, imagine if your father continued to work for the same company where his boss almost killed like 3 of his kids.
yeah.
If we're talking full canon, within 12 months.
yeah.
We did the first one while the kids were 8. And the same thing.
Yeah, him just like at age 70, like recounting stuff from the past. Now, there was this one crazy year. A lot of shit went down. Is all of it, most of it
I tried to
involving
enact
my
a
boss.
fucking
Actually.
Tortine. Tried to kill my father to get paintings back.
yeah.
I remember the soundbite. It's the cube.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have
cube,
30
which
minutes to move your car.
Oh,
10
yes,
minutes.
yeah.
Your
Well-
car has been impounded. Your
I
car
wrote
has
that-
been crushed into a cube. You have 30 minutes to move your cube. And then again, that was like when we were talking about the funniest bit in these shows is when people just take shit at face value and just roll with it as that.
Yeah.
And just the bit where he answers the phone and Burns it just immediately like, is that about my
Yeah.
cube? Always quoted that.
Well, I wrote that one down because it's like, there's always some point in your life where you've done something as stupid as Homer has. And like when I laughed
Yeah.
at that because I dead set at one point, I remember my folks were away for a couple of weeks and they're like, look, can you, I would have been like 19 or something. And they're
Yep.
like, yep, just look after the house, open up the mail and do all that. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Don't
And I
burn it down.
interpreted that as just bring the mail in and just throw it. And so there was a table full of mail and it was literally like, this bill is due in a week. This bill is overdue. You now owe this much because you haven't paid. I remember parents being like, what did you do? I'm like, well, you said just bring the mail in.
Collected
They're
the
like,
mail.
and then open it, idiot.
Mom, Dad, that is a federal
So that would have
crime.
been me. Yeah. Their car would have been a cube. 100%.
Well, cast your minds back, listeners, to episode 30 of Murph's Tavern. We actually did a countdown of the greatest Simpsons jokes as submitted by the listeners. And,
wow.
and I think that came in number 2 or 3, the cube.
Cube.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Number 1 was actually Mr. Burns and Homer related. It was like, okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name? I don't know.
Not a bad one.
Yeah.
Really? That got top, though?
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe we'll do maybe, we're well past 30
reevaluation of it.
episodes
You might,
now. Maybe we should do another
Did you go through
countdown.
what your all-time jokes were?
Yeah,
So I was
mine.
literally talking about this just out of context with a friend at work the other day. But
Yeah.
What's yours, Murph?
It is Sideshow Bob stepping on those rakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of a cliche, but oh man,
It's been
like
too
when
long for me to have ran through and just have to narrow it down. It's just sort of what I can remember as particular things at the moment.
yeah. Well, what about just this episode then, Webby? Because I'll read some off, and you tell me what you think. I
Alright.
really liked Homer going the things.
Oh, yeah.
I put that down here of like, is that the origin of like that oversimplification joke? It's just like, yeah, I went and was collecting like that, just using things and stuffs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, early in
As the
the
entire word
series, a
rather
few
than-
years before this, you've got Ralph going, so, do you like stuff?
Yeah.
So maybe that also inspired whatever you're
Potentially.
talking about.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, I'm probably just talking about my ass, but I do that.
no. I actually could really relate to Homer.
When he punched Burns into
Yeah,
100%.
sometimes I just hit people as well. I don't know.
only old people.
Yeah.
But no.
Never fight a fight you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
It's the key.
I've lost a few of them. But no,
So learn.
just when he
It's
gets
smaller guys.
when he gets that list, he's like, can you repeat the thing about the thing? Like, amount of time I've been given a list of instructions. And
And
I'm
just recite
like,
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
love it.
My typical one to get around that is just go, you've got that written down for me? Yeah. Just so I can check it later.
yeah.
Or right now.
I also liked there's just a nice visual gag of Mr. Burns getting the beer in a spoon.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
But I forgot about
I love the bit where he doesn't hate it. That's not the problem. You know, they could have gone with the joke who's like, peasantry stuff. But I love that he's like, it's not working. Like, he has no problem with it.
Get
Except
the
that he's not
tablespoon
drunk.
out.
Yeah.
Again, in my head as a kid, like trying to remember which one's bigger. It's like,
Yeah,
is this
yeah.
becoming a smaller spoon or a bigger spoon, as if that mattered. Right here. This was the point I want to talk about. Only appearance I remember of long sleeve Homer. Like, vividly. And he rolls the sleeves immediately. It's like, why bother?
yeah. I guess they had the stage direction of Homer rolling up his sleeves, and then when they got to animate, they're like, "Oh, but he has a short sleeve shirt. So how do we get around that? Oh, let's just have him in a long sleeve shirt for
They
the
should have
only
just had
time."
him roll up his short sleeves.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
rolls into a singlet.
This was probably one of the most memorable series of jokes from the episode, though.
True.
Just Homer making the breakfast.
Yeah.
It opens when he's like somehow getting the eggs onto the skewers. Just like whole eggs just stabbed onto him with like bread and something.
Is that bacon?
I think it's bacon, but
Yeah,
one
it's
is
bacon
just
on the
grey,
skewers. Yeah.
and one of them's red. They're just no pan. He's straight over the and just keeps
him.
fucking up in this way. Just like all of the steps through is just increasingly.
And the
hilarious.
animation of him going, like his eye going half closed. That's so well
Slightly
done.
Confused. The bit here where he's like, he just smashes clean through the fucking front of the microwave, but doesn't put the sleeve back down. He's just like, I'm taking that on the skin.
The cornflakes in the milk going on fire. I feel like
there's
you
one of
see
your
that
memed
gif.
ones.
Oh,
pop
it's a
up
classic
there.
gag in every
Just visual
movie.
gag works with nothing else. But the bit that I love about the joke that I think gets missed is that between here and when he delivers the donuts, he has somehow managed to burn 90% of his clothes.
Yeah.
It's not like any of those previous fires have caused it. The only thing he's done since the end is walk out, get donuts, and come back.
Well, it almost as like, what's the word? Insinuates that he kept trying after the cereal.
kept trying
like he's
or caught fire while going to buy donuts.
Yeah.
Both were always possible in my head as a kid, but I'm like, the magic is not knowing.
Yeah,
And also,
absolutely.
did he wear the burnt apron to the quickie
Yeah.
mart?
Yeah.
And to Lardland
One or the
Donuts?
other. Or he put it back on when he got back.
Yeah.
Both of them are odd. I did also just put down because I needed to know if this was a joke in like. You know how Burns has a lot of like random comments will actually be researched and like, have back to them. When he talks about donuts being ethnic food and he smashes them off, I'm like, I got to find out where this came from.
Yeah.
And it is about, I think, timeline-wise, where Burns would fit into it, because it's like Dutch settlers brought it over, but it wasn't particularly famous. They got better, like more known when World War I soldiers were given them over in Europe by what they would call the donut lasses.
Wow.
And they were like known for being like a boost to morale. So
Yeah.
if it
What are
lines
they-
up with when
that
Burns
makes
might have
sense.
picked it up or somebody to associate that as ethnic food, it's like, maybe.
Well, even with
Yeah.
Burns being 104, a lot of his expressions and contraptions and stuff are like way even
16th
earlier.
century
Yeah. But they did have, I've read that they had a book of old-timey phrases and words in the writer's room, and they would like go through that and give
Oh,
Mr.
really?
Burns like,
Throw a dart at it.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff he does say are actual,
Actual proper words.
legit.
Oh, I
yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah. I like that he doesn't appear to have... Like, Mr. Burns is a fucking billionaire, but he doesn't seem to have any other staff. It's just Smithers. But Homer's doing everything in this. Like, he's cooking him breakfast. You'd think Burns would have just a staff of...
Just chefs or something.
Yeah.
They're just, it's a reverse Batman situation.
Right.
Didn't you see that fight at the end? Smithers has skills.
Yeah, true.
They're fighting crime in the night.
Yeah. I do think you could explain it, though, that you know how much Smithers was stressed about someone taking his job. So maybe he's just very, like, he's a control freak. He wants to do every little bit. So, like, he won't let Mr. Burns have any other staff. Because you're like, no.
When you're obsessed with somebody.
Yeah.
But also the other side of, like... When he's like you can see right now, nobody else's job is good enough at doing all of those tasks, so he'd get Smithers to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Would do it, which he would.
Yeah, that's it.
But the thing I noticed about Burns' behavior in this is, you see that he actually does stuff.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He's following up on these forms. He knows about the like accounts and things like that.
Yeah,
so
true.
Normally they
Yeah.
always use him as just like the buffoonery. He's the old man who runs the
Yeah.
thing, and he's notoriously evil.
Yeah.
But it's like in this, you do see him like asking and following up, he's taking these calls. And, like,
Yeah, exactly.
Is
yeah.
working there from now.
Yeah,
and just
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. The amazing bit at the end where Homer pretends to be the mum. On the phone is so
That's
good.
classic.
Yeah. And he's like,
I hated that one because it's one of those ones people would always try to like over imitate more often.
right, yeah.
It's just like one
they'd
where I'm
kill
like,
it.
Nah, that's too easy.
Yeah,
If
fair
it's
enough.
someone doing a voice to sound like a silly voice, it's like, nah, try harder.
Then Webby starts doing his speech from the episode we talked about before.
Oh,
I'm
of course.
only 81.
I'd totally just Homer's now giving his report on the fucking accounting department.
Yeah.
I dropped that in high school. First chance I got.
Oh, that is
Anyway,
every
it's just
year
like-
9 English presentation, isn't it?
Well, it is that. Not just the quality of the presentation. I mean, I love that move of somebody asking something with the wrong word, and I'm going to exploit the use of that word.
Oh yeah, I was a smart ass for that too. Like there'd be a typo on the test, and it'd be like, "What is?" and in quotes, but it'd be misspelled. So I'd be like, and I'd write, I don't know what that is because that is not a thing, and then that'd get
Oh,
a
no.
cross next to it. It'd be
Yeah.
like,
No, see, I would go like the other way, where if it's wrong, I will massively like do an answer that would be a fantastic answer to just whatever the wrong question is.
yeah.
It's just like put the effort in to look real dumb. That's how you enjoy yourself.
What else do we have here in terms? Oh, you go.
The horn, the fucking bell horn setup, the entire thing. First of all,
Yeah.
the huge bell coming out is like the foghorn to the little bell. I love the like visual of that going all the way down that it's the tiniest of little bells. I love that it still has a handle like one of those electronic, like a bullhorn, and then it just goes into this huge brass horn. But it's clearly not there all the time, and it wasn't there yesterday, which means he's made Homer set that up before going home from work. And then Homer's still like alerted and surprised and has to run back there.
Yeah.
It's like, how long ago would he have left?
And is that going out to the entire town, or does he have
Yeah,
it
everyone's
positioned
hearing that.
just at, like, does he have it in a way that only that Homer's
Well-
neighborhood can hear it, or?
I assumed he always had to set up someone like a, vampire, like Dracula's tower type thing. So he's like at the top of town.
Yeah.
So I
yeah,
assume
yeah.
that's blasting the whole town.
Yeah. And the town's just used to it, though.
Oh, the whole
Yeah.
town can hear it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
He just can't block the sun out.
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah. He's
he
got no
could.
empathy for the people in the town.
Yeah.
Why would he care about their sleep?
And I love when he's driving and almost killing everyone. And Chief Wiggum's just like, "That's some nice driving, Mr. Berry."
Oh, also pulling that move when he's just doing the like, look out, I'm a motorist. I love yelling shit out like that to people. I'm biking.
Yeah.
Riding my bike today.
This is an episode that's very much sort of, maybe some episodes where the whole town's involved, or like even this one is very much sort of like Homer, Burns, Smithers, with occasional scatterings of Bart, Lisa, Marge, and then every now and then little drops of townspeople. Like you got Mo
Well,
in
there's
a
only-
couple scenes.
Yeah, that was like 30 seconds in most having. pretty
Yeah,
much. But
yeah.
even then, it came down to like one of my favourite gags of this episode.
Yeah.
We've all thought about taking the guarding Barney.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you hear the truck roll
so-
up. It's like, oh no.
I
it's
love
you
the
again.
sound they used for the bell too.
Yeah.
Like just the big grandfather clock.
Yeah,
gong.
yeah.
Oh my god! Like he's turned into a fucking werewolf. Just,
Is that midnight?
yeah.
So the delivery's coming at midnight. Homer's just
Dead
hanging
on
out at the
midnight
bar
as
at
well.
midnight
Yeah.
as well. Like, great dad.
Dead on midnight
Yeah.
as well. Like arrives perfectly on time, which bullshit. And just the background line, because I love this show for just an off fucking screen sentence that'll pop up every now and again, and just the, oh god, it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just pandemonium out there.
Yeah, I love
Which
drilling
is the
into
concept that this has happened before,
Yeah.
and it was
No,
a
this is-
massive issue,
that it's
and we
so
needed to address
unstoppable.
it, and we haven't.
There's just no way for it to be avoided outside of a human distraction.
Yeah, Mo is like, okay, I can't ban Barney from the bar.
No,
because
it's
he's
his whole profit.
Because exactly. So I was like, okay, so like weighing up what to do. Do I get it delivered at another time? No, logistically they
When are
can't
you
do
gonna bring it
that.
where he's not there.
Yeah.
I just
like,
love the bit where the only time that, or times, I'm sure it's always been the case, that when Mo catches the prankster,
yeah.
it's always the real person. And
Yeah.
He just tears into someone who really doesn't need to.
Yeah,
hear
what's
about
another
it.
time that he thinks someone's pranking him?
Oh.
It's like, I'm
I
sure.
can't remember, but I definitely remember the smug look on his face. He gets
Yeah.
when he thinks he's got him.
Yeah.
Or is it the time when Bart's actually looking for someone?
Maybe. If you know,
can't
like,
remember.
message Murph's Tavern or Broken Home. Like we said.
Murph's Tavern.
Crossover episode. Let's get the book out. So,
If we're
Querb's.
going through
The
like,
book.
just-
What's the book?
I'll skim
have to
through
do?
these because these were chronological.
Oh, okay.
One,
Sorry.
he held that punch in for so long. You have been assaulted. He's thrown 3 things on your face,
Yeah.
mostly things that are like actively like hot fucking drinks and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like
And Homer's snapped quicker. Like Homer
yeah.
previously has like lost his temper way
Oh,
quicker.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
guess again he's trying to be professional. Like
Yes.
he's
and it's always for that thing of like especially in the other ones, these ones it's a bit more like implied. He's just doing it for the family. Like he's doing it for everyone else.
yeah.
He doesn't wanna.
I mean, that just got me thinking when Homer fights the step brother that comes in. You know, the
I was
step
totally
brother.
had that, yeah.
Was that like an instant snap, or that was progressing in building? Wasn't
the other
it?
guy hits him first.
Nah.
No,
So-
I'm pretty sure.
No, doesn't he say like
he throws a staff.
No. The fight starts. Here we go. If we want to go to this direct, the bits in the episode, I got you. Because he's there. Homer's talking to Bart, and then he comes up and goes, "Come on, Bart. You know better than to talk to strangers." He's
Ah.
like, "Actually, for your knowledge, I'm his father." And then he goes, "Your father, the drunken gambler?" And he goes, "Yeah. And who might you be?" And then he punches
And
him.
yeah. That's a good point.
And that's when
Well done,
he
Webby,
goes in the
yes.
tank, cracks his head, and the starfish land on him.
Yeah.
And then that kicks off
Yeah.
the actual fight.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
But I was going to bring that one up because I miss when the old fights were properly like choreographed, like an action movie. Like
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
fight scene in this, it's like it plays out. There's like it's telling the story in a fight, which you need in like any
What does he
kind of.
say? And he's telling Bart how to win a fight afterwards. He's like, and then you
Oh,
yell,
of
"I'm a hemophiliac!" And then when they walk away in disgust, you kick him in the back.
Yeah, such a
That's-
cool. It's the
oh, yeah.
tone he uses in that one too. He's like,
Yeah.
first thing you do.
yeah. We did a very early episode on the last episode of Murph's Tavern. We talked about Bart the General from season 1,
Mm.
where Bart gets all the they team up and get Nelson the bully. Anyway,
Oh,
but
yes, yeah,
Homer's giving him advice and that, and this is old school Homer, like, Nelson,
Yeah.
here's the girl. But he's like, a similar thing in that though. He's been like, you got him in the family jewels. Simpsons have always fought dirty. So that is a recurring. That's stuck for a while. Yeah.
And I just a side note, I love how that fight scene ends as well, where he like gets the combo and Homer knocks him out, and he just snaps fully over the fucking
The fire hydrant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
Doesn't
then
he-
just quietly given the this is even more painful than it
Yeah.
is." So good. But they do animate very well the weight behind Homer's punches.
Oh yeah.
Like there's 2 in particular. One when he hits Burns, and then the one where Smithers gives him the stop hitting like a girl Simpson. He goes, "Okay," and
Yeah.
just clocks with that right hand. Kudos to Smithers as well. He takes that like a champ.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
a huge right hook.
Yeah. As you said, he knows how to fight.
Yeah, and I think one of the writers said in an interview or commentary or something like that polar bear in the corner has just been like sitting there waiting to be used for 7 seasons,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
finally it's like, yeah,
They use it for something.
yeah,
You can see, like, because also you're like, why would you climb up that? It's just like, it's been there all along. It's Chekhov's fucking polar bear.
yeah. Okay, keep going through your notes, Webby, because I think he wants to get them through before we get the book.
Okay.
Querbs,
Oh,
so
I'm quite
I know you're excited about the
We'll
book.
scratch
Yeah.
through real quick.
No,
So,
take your time. It's all good.
Yeah, Homer's only ever a dick in these when he's doing it sort of by accident. He's just
Yeah,
commenting. Like
yeah.
the second time he just throws it at Smithers, where like you really threw it, like just before the fight. That's like, all right, you've done that. on
Yeah,
purpose.
yeah.
But the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one of like, you shouldn't have gone on vacation. That is what you'd say to somebody if they lost their job while on vacation.
Is
But
that,
not-
is that
But not right away.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
have gone on vacation.
Yeah.
How is Smithers actually that unemployable so quickly?
Yeah.
Doesn't go for like a secretary job or any
Yeah.
other office assistant job. He's just like straight to piano mover.
I wonder if, and it could be, I don't think they put this much thought into it, but everyone in town fucking hates Burns. So they then, in association, hate Smithers.
Yeah.
Alright, that'd make sense.
They're like, well, fuck you. You're the guy that helped.
Yeah, close this down.
Yeah.
It's also when you think about
The
there's
only reason
enough,
I'm working here is because your boss
Yeah.
shut down my business.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
and there's enough successful characters where he could be a PA to him, like Troy McClure.
As if Krusty's like
Yeah,
Smithers
Krusty,
becoming Krusty's assistant.
Kent Brockman, they would
Wouldn't be
all
a
have
fun- yeah.
PAs. That he
And they'd be
could've-
great episodes on their own, though.
Yeah,
So I think,
that's
like,
true. I want to see Smithers as Krusty's assistant. That's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, they could have that.
Listen to this, writers of season 37. Come on.
Keep killing the show with these good ideas that would have worked. Why isn't Burns sus that Homer's randomly transferring him a call?
yeah.
He doesn't. It's not his job anymore. There is no assistant. Why is it not weird from just like got a call coming through to you, and he's just like, no worries,
Yeah.
no problem to that.
Burns just loves taking phone calls now. He likes showing off that he likes using the phone. So
Yeah.
he's happy to take a call. Yeah.
Just with the fight scene, there is the one line that I don't think's getting in there now. Yeah, it's all about Smithers being gay, and then he calls back to them of like, "Stop hitting like a girl, Simpson."
Oh, yeah.
And then he throws
yeah.
in that. I'm like, they're not putting that in season 37
Yeah.
because it's
yeah.
both like, oh, he's a girl for being gay, and also,
Do you reckon that was deliberate?
yes,
Okay.
if not deliberate, it's like pretty casual with it to just be. That
Well, that was
Yeah.
such a
nerves.
common call back in the 90s.
That's what
It
I
was
mean.
Like,
I'm
you
just
throw
like-
like a girl, you hit like a girl. It was like
Yeah,
a sign
it's
of
just
the
a weird
times.
thing now to look at
Yeah.
that and go, ooh, people would get in trouble for that these days. It's like,
To
I'll
have
still
that
follow it.
line at all, or to have a gay character say it?
Just that line at all.
Okay.
I think
okay.
that'd be too
Yeah.
sexist these days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everything.
The good
But,
days.
Hey, for a show made in 90, I think it's 95, 96.
Mm.
If that's the only thing
Yeah.
that's aged poorly,
Hey,
they did
Not
all right.
right.
if they'd made it so Smithers couldn't fight in the scene, then I'd be like, no chance. That's
No, yeah.
I love that he can throw down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's like when you see Flanders is ripped, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like you don't want these people to just be boring pushovers. It's like, no, I
No.
want Smithers to be a fucking champ.
Yeah.
But
No,
I also love the
exactly.
Looney Tunes-esque style of some of the fight. Like even with that punch,
The
the fucking safe.
Yeah.
It's just like he has time to crack that with a smile on his face,
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
it open.
Just face it, the fact I should say that their heads expand when they're getting choked.
Yeah.
Like,
But just
They
the
blow
whole
up.
their jaw, the whole bottom half of their face when they cop a punch just moves independently
yeah.
from the rest of their face. You're like, either your jaw's completely out or you are unconscious.
I love that Smithers just happens, the way the letters are on the phone just happens to be Moe's. Like, that's great.
I bet you how many people would have dialed that to try it. It's just kids being like, Smithers. It seems like one where they would have back in the day bought that number. to
Oh
have-
yeah, maybe. Oh, they should have
Yeah.
done that
Just
and
have Mo on
had
there.
yeah,
Just
had
have
an
the
audio
call
clip of
happen
Mo.
close.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's weird, like, considering to later on him being the fat lazy. Just watching Homer happily smashing the fruit basket at the end.
Oh yeah.
Instead of being sort of grossed out by it. And just ending with the line, what am I, a doctor?
Yeah.
Just burning your own kid. Just like, I love that that's the end. It's like, he's not trying to be too mean, but it's like, fuck it, what are you doing walking into that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned Flanders. There was a
Mm.
deleted scene, I believe, where one of Smithers' failed jobs is working at the Leftorium. I
Oh.
can't remember. I haven't watched the.
Wow.
Problem is,
How
he's
do they-
right-handed.
Yeah, I can't remember how it goes, but that'd be a cool little team up. Smithers and Flanders, similar-ish characters, and seeing them bounce
Oh,
off
yeah,
each
and then
other.
Yeah.
God gets involved.
Oh yeah,
You know, a
right.
bit of godly conflict, that kind of thing. But I still would have loved, like, this era, watching Smithers either working for, you drop Kent Brockman, which would also be, because I watched a clip thing of just Kent Brockman,
Yeah.
like just a compilation, and fuck, he's, like, underrated.
Oh, so funny.
Well,
Like,
he's one of those characters. Smithers. This is actually.
It's not that people think he's bad, it's just, like, when you're listing characters,
Yeah,
there's a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
listed above him, and I'm like,
yeah.
it doesn't show how fucking good Kent Brockman's scenes are.
Yeah, true, absolutely. And there's actually someone compiled a list from the first 10 seasons who had the most lines.
Yeah.
Like, and it was obviously Simpson Family, and then you had I don't know, like Krusty, Mr. Burns,
Mm.
Smithers, but then Kent Brockman was in like the top 15.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like every
Well, he's in
episode,
every episode.
Every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you have to cut to something on the news,
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
to have a line.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's a wasted space.
but he's one of those unique characters that and like Smithers actually usually was just in their own little zone. Like most of the time, Ken Brockman didn't deal with other characters.
Yeah, occasionally do like some man on the street type stuff. Or like something like that. But mostly he was just an introduction to something.
Yeah.
And as they sort of give him that little bit of character throughout, like, you know, just the weird like meltdowns. and
Yeah.
One thing that's stuck in my head really hard, I have no idea why. It's the one with Homer's mum being on the run, and they've got it in like they're watching the news in the past.
Yeah.
And just that I remember clearly in my head that his name is Kenny Brocklestein.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, it was nice seeing Smithers have a bit more in this episode than just being linked to Burns.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they don't show much of
You
his
saw
vacation.
a bit more of his character.
Yeah.
Is this before or after Malibu Stacy?
Oh, this is after. Yeah, so you've established that he's
Weird.
yeah, that's a rare example where he's not with Mr. Burns. Lisa goes to his
Yeah.
apartment to get the scoop on the creator of Malibu Stacy. Yeah.
I think that's what confused me as a kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
because that I just saw as again, it's like, oh yeah, like it just seemed weird that was his apartment, but then I don't know what the fuck I'm on about.
Well, maybe that's a good.
I didn't know gay guys had dolls. No, it's I couldn't tell what was meant to be there as like, yeah, obviously, or something that had an extra meaning where I'm like, maybe I need to
Okay.
figure this out.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah.
than
Well, I
just
think that
he's
was
gay.
based on a real. I think the person with the biggest Barbie collection was a bloke, and so
Checks
I
out.
can't-
Blokes
Uh,
have got all the money to buy him.
Oh yeah.
let's bring out. I think it's time to bring out the book.
Malibu Stacy.
The book.
All right, so Querbs, have you
Yes.
ever
Book
seen
it.
this before? This is,
Get rid of the
and for any new listeners, this is The Simpsons: A Complete Guide to Our Favorite Family. This is a book that was published in 1997.
Oh, wow.
And it's got the first 8 seasons detailed. It's got a bunch of little character profiles. It's got
So the
stuff
good
you
ones
may
in the
have
first one.
missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Of every episode.
From the
Man,
first
you're
day.
not going to
Yeah.
believe
Wow.
some of the details you've missed if I've learned any from this fucking book.
Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Burns has like 3 dots on the side of his head?
Webby's being sarcastic there because some of these facts
Yeah.
are pretty obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Every now and
I
then
just,
they
when
have.
you open your eyes and watch the episode, it's like, yeah, you didn't miss it.
Anyway, but let's find out. But
Yeah.
before we go to the stuff you may have missed for this episode, they also choose a character to highlight for the
Okay.
episode. Who do you think? We're going to play a game. Who do you think from this episode they've chosen to do a biography for?
I'm going to go with Drunk Lenny.
Drunk Lenny, just specifically Drunk Lenny.
Yeah,
not
So
it's
Lenny
got to
in
be the
general?
Lenny, possibly even doing the thumbs up.
Okay.
So are they going for someone who obviously wasn't
I'll
heavily
give you-
featured at all?
I'll give
or
you
is
an
it
example.
I just think Smithers and Burns would be elsewhere already.
Okay, so I'll give you an example, Querbs.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is Lisa's substitute,
Oh yeah.
and they've chosen to do a little biography for Mr. Bergstrom,
Oh, okay.
the substitute teacher.
Yeah.
But then the next
Who
episode,
was pretty big in that episode?
who was huge in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
episode,
yeah.
and was only in that episode. So that's a
Yeah.
logical choice. But then the next episode, you've got the War of the Simpsons, where Homer and Marge go to the marriage counseling retreat, and Homer goes fishing,
Yeah.
and they've got the fish that he tried to
The
catch.
big catfish. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it might just be.
I'm
Sure, but
I'm
there's
getting
still
what you're
gotta be
putting
ones
down.
where They pick someone.
It's
to
gonna be a
on
tricky one
something.
because it's like these are all very main characters.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean. I think everybody
and-
else has gone elsewhere.
So
Like-
they do sometimes pick a main character. So everyone except for the family.
Yeah.
So the family have their own little section at the start of the book where
Yeah.
they've got their biographies.
Nepotism.
So there we go. Yep, the family Simpson. So they've got their own thing. But anyone else, the cast is your oyster, Querbs.
Yeah. Well, look, I feel like Smithers has never been as prominent as he was in this episode in any prior.
And
So I'm going
his
to say
name is-
Smithers.
And his name is in the episode. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of pulling my bet later.
Sorry, you've said Drunk Lenny.
I
did.
Fuck it.
All right.
It's
So
coming down the outside. Can he make it to the front?
the character
Yeah,
they
here we
have
go.
chosen
Come
on.
for this episode. We're flipping past Disco Stu and Luigi from other episodes. We have Smithers.
Yay.
Smithers.
I feel like I really took the favourite there. That was
Yeah.
like,
Look, I'm behind in the tipping. You gotta swing in the fences on a couple.
It's your
That is
first
the
time on the show.
$1 sports bet odds, and I was like, yeah, I'll put $2 on that.
I want drunk Lenny, who isn't even mentioned by name.
So yeah, they've gone with Smithers. They're
What did we miss?
stuff
What
you
could
may
we
have missed.
possibly have missed?
Smithers uses a Macintosh OS computer.
What?
Did you notice that?
No.
I blanked it out. I hate Apple products. So my vision just takes over and it blurs them out for me now.
It
Otherwise
didn't
I-
even pay attention
When
to what he
he's
was
looking
talking
at when that great scene where he's like
Oh,
incompetent.
yeah.
There's a
714 matches. Yeah.
That's barely a fucking.
Was there a little Apple logo on that, or was it?
I don't
just
think
No,
they
that's
would have
just
done
the
it. Just the
same
design.
interface of
Yeah.
the original like MacBooks.
Oh,
But not
wow.
green or bent enough. It's. I also love that he can so easily search for that on that era of computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way the computers are still magic in this era. And it's just like you type in things and whatever joke you need, it comes out.
We've also got one of the drag races at the Springfield Dragway is sponsored by Amalgamated Pornography.
Did not picture that at all.
Although that's surprisingly explicit for them.
I guess it's a background gag, so they could slip it
Yeah.
in. Yeah. All right. Well, so far, Webby was making fun of the book before, but he didn't
Look,
notice these ones.
that's
Oh,
two
those
from
ones,
two.
I still don't argue that they were something I needed to notice.
Yeah. Burns throws shredded environmental reports out the window.
Yeah.
All right, that was
That was an
literally
obvious gag.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
See what I mean? This is where I'm fucking coming from.
Smithers brings pineapples back from his vacation.
I was actually going to pick up on that as well because I saw that and I'm like, is that an in joke as well that he's come back from a swingers retreat? Because that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
You leave-
really?
Yeah, you leave. Not that I've been to him, but you leave
Seems
a
like a bit of inside
pineapple out
knowledge.
the front of the door, which means this is a swingers house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a cum taste thing, but
No.
well, there was the Amel joke like earlier. So
yeah.
What
yeah.
amel joke?
You said Amel pornography, didn't you?
Amalgamated pornography, but it's not spelt like amel.
Oh, it's just amalgamated.
Oh, amalgamate.
All right, that's on you, not me.
But no, he came back with this big duffel bag full of pineapples after his, all male inclusive retreat. And I'm like, that was a
Essentially.
swingers.
Yeah.
I also
yeah,
didn't get
okay.
the line as well when I was a kid of like, I don't actually think they allow photography at this thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
a kid just going, okay. I thought he was just trying to pretend that he wasn't busy. 'Cause he
Yeah,
wanted to-
right.
Like when he says,
okay.
I don't have much time, like much to do with my time, you can FedEx me your mail.
It's so funny how you interpret jokes different ways
Yeah.
when you're a kid. So it's not like you're.
Just blank him out because that kind of stuff's wrong.
And finally, while
Father Dennis said it was wrong.
I heard you have a chuckle at this one, Querb, so you noticed this. While imitating Burns' mother, Homer calls Burns Montel.
Yes. Yeah. Montel was great.
I always thought that was just him noticing that Burns was standing there.
Oh!
I always expected
Again,
that. He was like,
misinterpreting the
my
joke.
mom. I thought it was a trailed off because he's being noticed.
Okay. No, I think it was meant to be
Because
that
he looks
Homer doesn't
like as
know.
he's saying it, he's looking.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, all right, that's
Okay.
good to learn.
Well, there you go. That's the book.
I think
for
we
another
actually
week.
learned some facts from that,
Yeah. Good on your book.
Yeah, well, to
I'll have
reading.
more things to forget.
All right. Let's do final thoughts. Does anyone have any final notes from the episode?
No, I think I'm covered there.
I've got here, I don't know you guys picked up on this, the final scene with Burns in bed. That
Yep.
is a reference to a movie. Do either of you want to...
Yes, I know, it's Clockwork Orange.
There we go. Well
That-
done.
You're munching on toast fingers and he's sitting there in the hospital bed.
Oh,
Oh, no, hold on. I'm just trying to think of the scene.
I don't... You know what? I've never
No,
actually...
you're right. It's when he gets beaten up by that other gang
Mm-hmm.
and is lying in the hospital bed.
Right.
And they're feeding him and he's...
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, I saw that straight away. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a Clockwork Orange
Good work.
When I
reference.
saw a Clockwork Orange straight away, I'm at the front, just fucking second Harry Potter film style. Just can't wait to see this. I love the book. I'm 8 at the moment. I don't know when things came out.
So I think that was 80s, wasn't it? Clockwork Orange.
I was in late 60s.
Okay, there you
I
go.
think it was 1969 or something. Yeah, it was...
And how old were you in the late 60s, Greybeard?
Well, Monty Burns is what,
I was a
81 in the first
sprightly-
episode, yeah.
I was a sprightly 14. And then I was frozen for 20 years.
What do we want to give Homer the Smithers out of 10?
I'd go straight 9.
Yeah, right.
9's easy.
Yeah.
Not like, it's easy to call that a 9.
It's a funny episode.
Very
There's
funny
lines all the way
episode.
through it. There's no like,
No lull.
yeah, nah. And
I
there's
don't-
no gimmick.
Yeah.
A lot of people they say like having the songs in it from this era and shit like that, but I'm like, that's one joke that you spread out to a whole song. You know what I mean? I always felt like songs were cheap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm like, when there's this, it's like, yeah, you don't have a song, so that means you got to be doing this. You got to have Barney flipping out at midnight.
It's a good, simple plot as well.
Simple
Yep.
plot.
Yeah.
I'd almost say it's almost a bit too simple because when
Yeah.
you told me the title of this, when you
Yeah.
asked me onto the
Mhm.
pod, I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
right? And that's probably a sign that it's not the best of all time or it's not amazing. But it was just solid. Like there were lots
Yeah,
of lines that
yeah.
I didn't remember. Am I going to remember them in like a year's time? Probably not, you know.
Yeah.
Will I remember, hey, you get the gun when we tell you... No, what did he say? When do we get the guns?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I'll give you
yeah.
that. Like, that's something that's going to be in my head forever.
That's
So,
true, yeah. It's an episode that you can't fault. Like, it's
No.
very funny, great watch, but at the same time, it's not on anyone's top 10 list.
No.
It's not going to be one that you're telling all
Yeah.
your friends about.
And for that
Like-
reason, I reckon I'm going to give it 8 pineapples out of 10.
Yeah.
I do just love even watching these older ones. There's something about those just taking things at face value jokes. Because I was rewatching, you've definitely done it on here, I'm sure. Selma's Choice.
No, we haven't done that one.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a joke in that where like he's wearing the toga at the end.
Yeah.
You know, Homercles. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
come back from Duff Gardens, and then Selma just looks at him and she just goes, "How do you do it, Homer?" And he's just like, "You get an ordinary bed sheet, around like this."
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
completely
Yeah.
forgot about it. And the
Yeah.
whole thing, but it's like when you keep seeing it pop up, you're like, "Fuck, that's a good joke."
Yeah.
It's just such a good format. Someone says something, you go, "Yeah," and just as normal, however you think you interpret it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to go, what'd you do? You did 8.
I went
You
8.
did
Yeah,
9.
yeah.
Let's split the diff. 8 and you know what? Nah, I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna
8?
go an 8.
Call it
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
that's
wrong,
it.
Webby.
Look, again, nothing
It's
really
literally
to
just
fault.
ending on the phrase of
but-
like this. The animation of Mo through this whole scene, right at the end here, just because it starts out he's shocked, terrified, and then he's just weeping by
Yeah.
the end. Because it's just like, how many times has this happened? How close is he to fucking broke?
Yeah.
From
And
this
I
one
just
scene.
love, what is Barney doing? Is he assaulting the dude? Is he just
Oh.
like knocked him out of the
He's
way and he's just
ram-raiding him.
drinking? Like,
Yeah.
what? It's
I'm just picturing him, like a werewolf, just like tearing into just barrels of like.
and
pork.
like Barney's restraint. So Barney doesn't give. Barney's not like, no, this is my friend Mo's livelihood. Like you
Mhm.
can't just do this, but yet he doesn't do that. Like when he's in the bar, he's not like knocking Mo out of the way and like
Yeah.
drinking
No.
the beer. Like in that, he's restrained.
And he's
He's
also
not
at the point
Judas.
where, like, if
Yeah.
he's sort of hanging out there calmly, like, yeah, if you distract me, everything will be fine. Like, he's
Yeah.
he's in on the plan. He's all fine with it. But once it snaps 0 and you haven't put him in the cage, he's gonna fucking werewolf out and tear through the sheep herd. That's the way I put it. I love that. Like in my head, I always saw it. It was like the clock strikes and he turns.
Yeah.
It's like he's not Barney anymore, despite the laughter. That's the other bit I like. They don't make him like vicious. and angry.
Yeah. He's having a great
character.
time.
He's
Yeah.
just cackling, laughing. But I also love as a kid because he's laughing. You're like, so he's not drinking the beer. Like he's not there just guzzling heaps of it.
No,
he's just
yeah.
destroying it, rolling around in it like a pig in slop.
Yeah. So we like the episode. I like to do this with classic episodes. Like
Oh,
go
yeah.
back online, finding what the nerds on the
Oh,
internet
the reviews.
in the 90s
Yes.
gave it. Now, to be fair, this had decent reviews, but here's a few of the not so decent ones. So Dominic Hallis. Hello, if you're listening, Dominic.
Big
Or
Dom, Big
watching.
D.
He says, this episode was a great disappointment. Homer, unfortunately, returned to complete idiocy.
Oh
and,
no!
And Mr. Burns was at
Not
times.
Homer being dumb.
Yeah.
Imagine Homer being dumb.
And Mr. Burns was
How
at
about
times.
now where he's a fucking dog?
Oh, yeah, Dominic, if you had seen what they did to your Simpsons as it went on.
Dominic, more like Dogamic.
Oh! Anyway, he continues. Mr. Burns was at times simply pathetic. Very few of the jokes were actually funny. And somehow the whole structure of the episode felt off. Grade D. So Dominic
Wow.
wasn't a
Burns,
fan.
like Burns is clearly more enfeebled in every other instance I've seen him, except this one.
Well,
It's
it's
like
sort
Burns
of
seems so fucking like he seems more capable in this than any time I've seen him.
yeah, and it's kind of the point, right? That it shows how like Mr. Burns is this evil, rich, powerful man,
Yeah.
but once you take away Smithers, I guess,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's not got someone doing everything for him. He's like, it shows that hey, he's actually this old weak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
it's nothing
yeah.
to
like
him.
doing
And as
all
far as
right
being
for
no jokes,
104,
it's
let's be
ridiculous.
honest.
Yeah.
It was
just lets
packed
you
full of
know it's like
jokes.
it's not that he's enfeebled, it's that he's pampered
Mm.
and evil.
Yeah. All right, next. Jeff Langer. All in all, not a great episode. But I love the Clockwork Orange bit at the end, with Burns smacking away for more food. Also, for all the homo
Now, that
curious...
is the weirdest spot to be the most into. It's like a reference is a reference. I
It's
get
just
you.
Yeah. It's
Oh
just a
man, I
reference.
love that so much.
yeah. Also, for all the homo curious out there, I would think the all-male conga line answers the question. Enough
Yeah,
already.
man,
Did
that's
you say
it.
homo curious?
Holly
I didn't know
Loaf.
there was ever a word.
Oh.
Where is he?
yeah. You're adding that to your bio now, homo curious.
Yeah.
All
And then I
right.
put up my profile picture. It's like a "Where's Wally?" but I'm in there somewhere.
Holy Loaf. Okay, what's the story? Tonight's episode sucked. I think I laughed out loud maybe twice, and even then it wasn't what I'd call a guffaw. And I've been noticing a distinct new trend in this direction this season. Yeah, okay. That was Holly.
Yeah.
And finally, Veronica Marquez. Hey, I will say this, for the 90s internet, Simpsons forum, they've got more females chiming in than I would imagine.
One
Yeah.
second, Holly Loaf, more like Hot Loaf with that fucking shit take.
Okay, fair enough. Veronica says, been there, done that. Not funny at all. Except...
I'd say who writes these, but I can clearly picture the fucking people who write these. I
not
could pick them on the street. Like I pick them on the tram that they're fucking taking too much room up on. Like, anyway.
not funny at all. Except for that Clockwork Orange reference.
What? That was.
Fucking psycho.
But I feel like that was also a sign of the time in comedy movies where it was just like if you just parodied something, even just physically,
what are you
it was like,
talking
oh, that's
about?
hilarious.
Scary Movie was the most original take I've ever seen.
Well, how many Matrix rip-offs were there? Where it was like the whole 360 kick in the air.
Yeah, that's
And
why
I was like, oh yeah, we'll just replicate that, but they're playing basketball. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, except for that Clockwork Orange reference, but we had to wait to the end for that. Anyway,
You said there was all chicks making those comments.
yeah.
Yeah, they love things about fucking murderers and like
Who-
all the true crime podcasts and shit like
Who
that.
wrote Clockwork Orange?
I've only
Stanley
seen a Clockwork Orange.
Oh no,
No,
he
the
directed
actual
it.
book.
Oh
He
yeah,
read the
yeah.
book.
Oh, I don't
two,
know who did the book.
two movies I
Okay.
remember being like shown by a partner
Right.
were fucking A Clockwork Orange and Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Both
anything
real light-hearted knee slappers.
Yeah, they're like, this is the ones where like you've got to see these. Oh, and Donnie Darko in that fucking group as well. It's like, what is it with these weird? Yeah, let's be dead. No,
Well,
fucking murderers. Yeah.
what do we got? What do we got to plug, gang?
You can plug on this if you're only listening to the audio episode. You can check out Broken Home. It's on all your podcasting apps and on YouTube. And at Techie Webby for Instagram. That'll get all of your show upgrades and any of my other nonsense that I'm doing.
Sounds great. Thank you, Webby, and thanks for the crossover episode today.
That's all right. Thanks for making my week easier.
yeah. Yeah, peek behind the curtain as
Simpsons
well.
always does it, man.
Yeah, rocked up, and Webby was like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna film this one," and yeah, but
and
no.
just use it as mine.
You
Qu-
willingly entered the premises. I
That's
offer-
true. You're very nice having us record here and setting up the TV and everything. So
I
yeah.
love what you've done with the place, Webby. Love it. Love
Every
it.
time I come here, you've got more.
Things.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Do they guitar in the corner? Is that a new edition?
It was, but I went and got that like fixed up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a mate of mine's, and I felt bad just sort of having it for ages.
yeah,
so I
yeah.
just like went down, got it all repaired. And
Well,
tuned up.
if you
Well,
want to
fun.
see the guitar, actually, it's out of shot, isn't it?
It'll be in one of the shots.
Okay. Well, if you want to see the
Goes one.
guitar, go to.
You got to go and watch my album relaunch.
Do you actually get to see the guitar? All right, Querb.
Do you come with the guitar?
What I got to plug? Look, just check me out on Instagram, Leigh Querban Comedy. It's mainly just some pictures from fucking months ago and the odd gigs that I'm doing here and there. And
Oh man, you do a great pointing into the audience, but from a 45-degree angle camera shot. I'll tell you that right now.
oh yeah. And
from
if you want to
below,
see
from
3
below.
seconds of crowd work that means nothing, yeah, I think there's a clip of that somewhere deep in the reels section.
People
People
like
go,
you scroll down there, it's just a clip of you just like, did you just sneeze? It just cuts and repeats over and over
Yeah,
again.
yeah. I put towels on my head and pretend that I'm a lady as well, and go,
Oh.
"Oh!" And that's got thousands of views. It's really good.
man.
Yeah. So
I
check
don't
it
get
out.
that one.
uh,
Be more elaborate.
people do want to see you online, though. You are on an episode of Broken Home.
It's
And
true.
You
Right
and
now.
Webby are wearing hats.
Oh, that's it. For the Hat Boys. Yeah, I remember that.
That seems
Nothing
like
wrong
one
with
of the
that.
parodies you're listing, but
Man,
that one's
like,
actually true.
I'm actually sad I forgot to wear another one of my hats. I've got too many hats to not be wearing them, but I don't have things to wear them to. So I've just been cycling through my hats. So last week was my one that my work gave me that looked like a Trump hat. But just because like it's so funny that they were handing it out at work functions and they say, oh, please ask me for help. So they were like the information people.
Oh, wow.
So good. And had no concept of why it was bad. I love that we're ending the episode just as the bear tumbles down from the window. So that's probably a good spot.
Yeah, worked out well. Okay, so you can check out my stuff at murphymclachlan.com. You can also review the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Or just tell a
Yeah,
friend.
I don't ask people to do that often enough.
Even when you ask them every episode, Webby, you don't really...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm never trying so I don't fail. They're all just not being told to like the show.
Actually, you know what? I found my one negative review recently, and I don't know how long it was been there because it's in the Canada Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
So I think when you look up your podcast reviews through Apple Podcast, I mean, I've got
you
like
get,
3
like,
from 5,
geolocated
however long
or
I've done
whatever.
this
Yeah.
show, so it's fuck all. But yeah, you have to.
It sets your location. and
Yeah,
your
so you can't
reviews.
see international.
You ever heard of a
Oh.
VPN, mate?
Anyway,
It would take you 4 seconds.
well, I looked up the Canada one,
Mm-hmm.
and someone gave it 2 stars because of my mic quality.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Nice new mics you got here, by the way.
there's maybe like a handful of my episodes where, yeah, the mic quality's not great, but I mean, come on, it's a free podcast. Anyway, he gave it 2.
That's the attitude.
Yeah,
It is a free podcast. Absolutely jerry-rigged with terrible cameras. Fucking board I
But
made from
he said 2 stars. He said, I really like the podcast, but the mic quality sucks. Also,
Wow.
he said Jeremy Webb needs to calm down with his reviews. It's just a cartoon, man.
Wow.
I'm more concerned now about, like, calm down in what way, mate? What are you talking about?
I think you were being too, he thought you were being too analytical. It's like, that's the point of the podcast. We nerd out about The Simpsons, man.
Yeah.
I hope you're still listening.
So it's not just an hour of just like, oh, yeah, that was pretty funny. Anyway.
This is hot
Yeah.
loaf.
Yeah.
This is hot loaf talking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cracking
Yeah.
me down.
They also said there weren't enough Clockwork Orange references. So
Fuck. Next week, I'm going to try to remember the whole episode and then say it word for word before we actually start discussing it. I'm going to autism the fuck out.
yeah, I think what was it? It was like, it's not exactly prestige TV. It's just a cartoon. It's like, it is prestige TV,
Yeah.
and that's the show.
Like
Like,
one of the most quoted shows of all time.
why are you
more than
listening to a
Shakespeare.
Simpsons
Yeah.
podcast if you don't want to hear people go analyze?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I didn't think I'd be the one getting picked for overanalyzing
Yeah.
either. I
I-
thought you were going to say like that I swear too much
No,
or something. Like,
yeah,
needs to calm down with the fucking profanity.
yeah, yeah.
No.
You can't
It was
please them all.
wild.
Cannot please them all.
No matter how much
Nah.
I analyze.
That's it. Yeah. But anyway, so leave a good review, please. Thank you very much, listeners. Thank you very much, and viewers. Thank you very much, Webby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Querb.
Thank you, Murphy. Thanks for having me.
No worries. And as we always say here on Merv's Tavern,
Bye.
And then I'll end like 3 seconds later. Peace.
feel free to take notes, by the way, Querb's.
Oh, I'm I'm such a dweeb.
Well, what about
Already
fucking
did
notes and
know.
pictures?
I watched it before I got.
Oh, what you've done?
You told me I didn't have to do any homework.
I know. I'm just.
You dog.
He's a teacher's pet.
So what do I?
No, only
do
when I
I
get
have to
home,
answer questions?
No.
No.
Just if there's anything that tickles your fancy.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's a good point. You're
The point is to
like,
talk about the episode.
Yeah. Gotcha.
If you're like,
Yeah. The roller door came up and the cars always. Yeah, this.
oh, you've seen this.
Fourth.
You're just gonna write enough down that you can like reenact, like director's commentary.
Maybe let's.
Yeah, it's because I hyper focus on that.
Will you give me a piece of paper?
Oh, you're Iron Man.
All night's entertainment is on me.
To raise the nuclear power plant championship.
Atrocious. I thought I told you to take a vacation.
Smithers already left, sir. I am his replacement, Homer Simpson. You have 10 minutes. Your car has been impounded. Your car has been crushed.
60 watts? What do you think this is, a tanning salon?
I'm gonna pull out your eyes and shove them down your pants. You can watch me kick the crap out of you, okay?
I knew I shouldn't have left.
Ah, welcome back, Smithers.
Say, what for? Silly cries, wrap the frets.
Oh, my. Here comes the endangered condor into the power lines. I've got Bobo hot from the dryer. Careful not to burn yourself on his eye.
I don't need you to do any of this. I'm totally self-reliant now. What I would like, though, is a Spanish peanut. Skin. It's a remarkable thing. In the short time you were gone, I learned to be completely self-reliant. And as for that brutish fellow who knocked me out the window, see that he gets what's coming to him.
I already have, sir.
What'd you get that for?
For knocking Mr. Burns out of a third-story window.
Makes sense to me. Did he die?